Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
look at her.
Just surprised him. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the NuSpecian live Q&A. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston.
Thank you so much for being here today. For those of you who are joining us who are new, just let you know NuSpecies is a natural health company. Aston, many years ago, invented our formulas. They're all supplements, herbal medicine, plant based, a couple of other diversity of stuff in there, whatever it takes to get you powerful, effective nutrition. All of our formulas were designed to help your body be as resilient as possible against some of the toughest of health challenges. And in our 18 years of experience, we've developed an integrative health consulting practice because many of you are in both worlds. You have medical care, you need medical care, but you also want to make sure you're incorporating as many natural solutions as possible. And maybe over time, you want to clean up your lifestyle so you can eventually come off of medications or not be so reliant on them and to just feel better and live longer, which is our mission. So we do this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. in order to get you answers to the questions that you have, because you know what? A good health choice for you may not be for someone else. And we like to address all those details here today. So
Yeah.
welcome.
Yep. And some of you just can't take medication because they make you so sick, and especially the stronger medications. So a lot of you are just exclusively relying on us to help you to live better and live longer. And we do. We try our best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's true. There are so many reasons why folks come to NuSpecies, whether it's to deal with the side effects of medication, to try to get off of medication. But even like Aston, you just brought that up, which is not something we talk about a lot, is folks who maybe can't take the medication that's been prescribed for whatever reason. And so even if the medication would have been the ideal treatment, if they can't do it, then we try to help fill the gap in
Right.
whatever way possible.
Right. We have a lot of clients, quite a lot, where the medication make them so sick. And not just chemo or radiation, but just even blood pressure medication, diabetes medication.
Antibiotics.
Yeah. The doctors, bring them through the whole cycle of different meds that can be used for the particular issue. And the meds just make them sick. And there are cases where people take medication and it doesn't work. Their blood pressure stay high, their diabetes stay bad, cholesterol stay bad. And if they have other chronic issues, just keep getting worse, even with the medication. So that's why we have been trying to do so much to cover all the natural bases that we can think of to help people to live better and live longer. Live better mean live with less or no suffering. We know that suffering is like a crucifixion. And I'm not referring to the Bible or Jesus. I'm just speaking, using the word based on Webster's dictionary definition or meaning. So yes, there are a lot of people who just suffer in horrific ways, like my parents did, and the medication just didn't work for them. So they just get more sick and more sick until the end. So we're here to help you live better and live longer.
Yeah. At least that's our mission.
That's our
I
mission.
think we do accomplish it
I think we do.
most of the time.
Yeah, I think we do.
Many factors are involved in healing, and as you know, NuSpecies has increased over the years the amount of services we provide in order to cover all those factors, right? So if you think about just our formulas, that's your nutrition, which ranges from your daily supplements to powerful rebuilding products that you would use temporarily when you need more potent nutrition or more concentrated nutrition for your body. But then that's just the nutritional side of things, right? Then there's the detoxifying side, which we have formulas for, but there's also lifestyle changes you can make when it comes to keeping toxins out of your body versus helping your body cleanse the toxins that are already there.
Right.
Then there's spirituality and mental health. There's so many facets to helping your body heal. And, not everyone can just take the product and then get all the results they were hoping for. We often have to investigate and see, what else is impacting your health. And that's why we just end up consulting, and we've built our practice over time, because we've learned that everyone has so many different things going on in their life. It's not always just as simple as the formulas. Although, fortunately, because our products are raw and organic and liquid and from natural sources or just completely made of whole foods, um, they are able to be very helpful for most people, unlike a lot of other supplements. And so we've seen where there are many people who do just use the products and then we don't see them again. Then we hear from them years later and they're like, oh, yeah, I've been fine.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, we have supplements, right? You didn't have to disappear.
I get those every week, at least every week. I get those, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
We didn't see them or hear from them for a long time, maybe months or even years, and then they resurface, and you think, okay, what's going on? How are you? Well, oh, I got past that. I'm good now. I just have something else. So they're back because they have a new issue. And then we always wonder, what happened? What happened to XYZ? Why we haven't seen him or her again? But it's because they get better and they move on with their lives, which is beautiful. I
Yeah.
think it's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. That
Yeah.
is the goal.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, there are more than enough sick people to keep us busy for the rest of our lives. So if you're someone who can just get healthy and move on, that's great. Although I will reiterate, we have multivitamins, multiminerals, products you can use on a daily basis that are very affordable, but very high quality. And so preferable to other supplements you may go buy, which we could always talk about in more detail if you have questions about that. If you're someone new here today, or maybe you are one of those rebuilding clients who don't realize you can also just supplement with NuSpecies. So
Mhm.
if you have any questions about that, you could just put them in the chat, please.
Supplement with high potency or high density, or just vitamins and minerals from natural sources. So we have those, and we don't talk about them enough. I keep talking to people who say, "Oh, I got better, and I went to someplace and buy some vitamins and minerals." And I would say, "We have vitamins and minerals that are from whole foods." And so, "Oh, I didn't know." I
Yeah.
said, "Well, you were taking the mineral complex for your blood pressure. That one of the formulas we use to help the body support itself against blood pressure." And they would like, "Really? I didn't know that was a supplemental mineral as well. I
Mm,
thought it was just medicine." Well,
right.
guess what?
Mhm.
All food is medicine. All food is medicine. Foods are the original that we don't think about as much nutrients that help to make life, that God used to put life together. Nutrients, foods, believe it or not. And we're going to talk a lot about that this year.
Mhm. Yes. Actually, we're going to talk today about the newest pamphlet that we designed this week. Was finishing up this morning. A little bit of a mad dash to get here onto the show because we wanted to have the link to send to you today on the show. So it is, I believe, Mary, in the description of our YouTube video tonight. So if you open up the description, you'll see the link to our newest pamphlet. Aston, you want to talk a little bit about why you wanted us to design this?
Yeah, it's funny over the years, and Mary's is over there keeping us honest. She can recall the days when we used to make hundreds and thousands of Aston business cards that we would give to clients. Clients would walk in, I need a card, I want a card, and they would get Aston business card, and they would take it and give it to friends and family, and the friends and family would, what is this? I don't know who this Aston is. And so it didn't work as well with a lot of our clients referring family and friends. So what we took us years to do this. Oh boy.
Well, we've had many brochures and things since then, but they
Well,
don't
we haven't
seem to
had
cut it.
right. We haven't had one like this that gives, this one gives a overall perspective as to what we do. It even this one even has. I think we should show it. Oh, origin story, the new
Mhm.
species origin story.
Pull it up here.
So we want to give all of you who want to help your friends and family, coworkers, neighbors, parishioners. We want to give you something more substantive that you can give to a friend or family member, and it will take them 5 minutes to let's really go through it, 5 minutes or less. So nothing they have to read and study or go to the website unless they want to. So we're trying to give you easier ways recommend to recommend friends and family to new species, and hand them or email them or text them or WhatsApp them something substantive that they can look at and say, I see me in this pamphlet or brochure, or I see the issues I have in this brochure, so they can make the step to call or stop in one of our offices. So that's the primary focus of this new brochure.
So pulled it
And if
up.
you have any questions, just let us know.
All right, so pull it up. You'll just see this is obviously a flat version of what will be a folded pamphlet. So this is the cover. And then on the inside cover, we explain that we have experience with diverse health challenges. We let your family and friends understand that just because they don't see their health condition on this following list here, which we included as many of the most common health issues affecting at least Americans today, and we edited it for the things that we know we have experience with.
And let's just step at that list for a moment because,
Well, I'll finish my sentence and then you can.
okay.
But we let them know here on this page that doesn't really matter if their condition is there or not, because we're not treating any health issue. We're supporting the underlying
Mhm.
root causes that have developed in their body systems. And so that's why we work right along with the medical industry, because we're not doing anything we're not an alternative, we're complementary. And we explain that here. But yeah, Aston, what do you want to say about this page?
I just want to, say that when we review this list and I see all these conditions that are on this list, and there are probably more conditions that are not on this list
Oh, like
than
really rare stuff, because this
right,
is just the stuff that's most common right
right.
now, the top 100 in the US, but yeah, really rare
But
stuff.
it just amazed me how many people, thousands of people we've helped over the years with these conditions and more. And until you look at this, as a picture, you see it all together. It's just unbelievable how many people have come to us with these conditions and more.
Mhm.
And this is a lot. This is a lot of health issues.
Right.
This is quite it's a lot, and it's very diverse, and it covers all the body systems. It covers all the organs, literally covering all, are affecting all the organs. So I just want to point that out, that when you pass this along to friends and family, if they don't see the issue they have on this list, um, they should still call us, because this list doesn't have everything that we can help with.
Right. We should probably add that at the bottom, like, this is not all inclusive. But we basically say that here, that if your specific health condition isn't listed here, that's okay. We
Mhm.
focus on underlying root causes, not just symptoms. So we're trying to make it so that the people you're referring can hopefully see themselves reflected in this list. But it's really important that they understand that it just doesn't matter, because we can help anyone's body fix itself. The body has to fix itself, right? We're not doctors prescribing medication, which has to be specific to your symptoms. Otherwise, they'll be that's not legal, right? They can only prescribe or treat based on the pharmacopoeia or the doctor's guide to whatever. There's some official word for it.
Mhm.
But when it comes to adding in the natural part of your lifestyle and your healing process, you're actually asking your body to do the work. Your body knows what's wrong. We just need to support the body's functioning. And so, therefore, it doesn't matter what someone is diagnosed with. If their body can fix it, then we can help.
Right. And if you are diagnosed with anything at all, anyone who is diagnosed with anything, any issue at all, you look at your lab report, and in most cases, there are a lot of abnormalities in the lab report, in the urinalysis, in the CT, in the MRI, in the whatever you do, ultrasound. There are just numerous other issues in there. And the question you all ask me, why is my doctor focusing on just this one thing? Why am I being treated for heart disease, and now my lab reports are showing that I have kidney disease, and the doctors don't even say so? And it goes back to Jillian's point that they're treating one thing, one symptom with medication, and they're not going to look at your lab and say you have four things, five things, 10 things, and treat you in them. They can, and I don't think they can legally either, because medicine is now specialized. Where if you have other health issue, they can mention it to you, but then you have to go to your primary care, who to recommend the specialists to look at what you have and to decide whether you can be treated for it. So in many cases, it's not the doctor's fault. In probably in no case, it's the doctor's fault. It's just that the doctors are focusing on your heart disease, not your kidney, not your lung, not your arthritis, not any brain issue you have. They're focusing on the heart. But what we do, to Jillian's point, is that we rebuild your body so that your body can fix the root cause of the issue. So if you have 10 abnormalities in your lab report, we're rebuilding your body for your body to fix itself. And hopefully your body will be able to get rid of some, if not all, your body getting rid of some or all of those abnormalities. And that's what we have seen over the years we've been doing this. Incorporated 18 years ago, but we have been doing this for probably 10 years before that. So that makes the point. We work on the root cause. If they don't see their issues here, don't worry about it. Call us, and you should tell them that.
And then we have a page here that just outlines some important things they may want to know about our formulas with some pictures. They can get an example of powder, liquid. We make it clear that we do our manufacturing in the United States. Our manufacturing is GMP certified, so that's good manufacturing practices certified. We are regulated by the FDA. We use all third-party HPTLC testing, which we can get into more detail in a formula-specific brochure, which we're going to work on next, which is what I was going to say earlier. Then you've got a page about our services. So we just give them really clear instructions. Just call and ask for Aston, and then our team will conference him in, and together they'll design a protocol that's best for your needs and budget. So this is just telling your loved one, hey, this is how you get started with NuSpecies. If everything that we're telling you is sounding good so far and you want to get started, this is what it will look like. We explain that these are all the services we provide included, and that there's an option for paid services if somebody desires a more in-depth assessment with walking away with like a checklist of do this, do that, so just much more in-depth guidance. We give the NuSpecies story in here so they can learn more about us, the origin story for Aston, but then like how NuSpecies evolved over time, including me. Our children, they don't officially work for NuSpecies yet, but they do label some of the bags you pick up in the stores. Those stickers were put on by our kids, so if they're a little crooked, please forgive. And then just some clear QR codes to engage with us, whether they want to join the live stream like this and ask questions, go to our website, download our app, or follow us on social. Visit us in store, call or text or email. There's plenty of ways for them to engage. So this can be viewed, it's mobile friendly, so it can be viewed on a phone, you can text it, you can email it, but also it will be printed as a physical pamphlet as well. We're just trying to get out the first couple of versions, find any typos or make any updates or changes. And then as soon as it looks final, we will print it, and you'll get it in your shipments. We'll put it in your bags. It'll be in the stores for you to take a whole bunch if you're someone who's trying to spread the word.
Right. And those of you who I'm going to talk to today and then the coming days and weeks and months, expect to get an email or a text from me with this, because I am going to be very proactive in ensuring that you have this in your pocket to forward to friends and family, especially those of you who have been asking me for years. Here we are. I want to go back to one thing on the NuSpecies formulas.
Sure.
That page.
Yeah, I'll share again.
Right. And that is, I want to point out to you, for you to also point out to friends and family. At the bottom of that page, you see GNP certified, regulated by the FDA, third party HPTLC testing. So these are 3 independent of NuSpecies organizations who are objectively certifying as to what we say about what NuSpecies is, especially what we say above. That it's plant-based, it's non-vegan, it's all these things. So these are independent organizations, including the FDA, as you would probably guess, that are certifying or stating that what we say we have in our formulas is what we have. So these are 3 things You can point it to friends and family. And I'm pointing this out because a lot of you would say to me, and even this week you've said it, a couple of you have said it to me, that when you recommend even a sibling or even your parents or friends, relative, they would say, is new species pain for you to say this? That is good. And this is for you to say, new species is not paying me, but in addition to that, new species is independently verified, certified to have all these qualities and values in their products, right? So that's why I want to point this out to you. So you can point to these GNP, and Julian can speak more eloquently, far more eloquently to these than I do, because she actually worked with these with manufacturing and these organizations more than I do.
Yeah. Well, the HPTLC testing is high performance thin layer chromatography, which not expecting anyone to understand, and I couldn't even tell you that I fully understand all that means, but I know that it is a more detailed level of testing than like your standard testing. And we do the HPTLC testing because rather than just like your standard testing will just identify that this is the herb or plant that you think it is, that you were told it is. So when we source our ingredients from a supplier, we will say, "Hey, we want organic carrot." And then they will say, "Sure." And they will send us what they consider organic carrot. Now, if you just do the standard testing, it'll say that this is carrot or this is not carrot or that there's something else in here in addition to carrot, which is happens really often with suppliers to save money or to cut corners. They will supplement the ingredient you intended to buy with something else similar. And you hope it's just another plant that's harmless, but the point is that you're not getting like 100% pure what you're asking for. So the standard testing, which is cheaper, will just tell you this is carrot or this is not carrot, or there's something else in here in addition to carrot. What the HPTLC testing does is it doesn't just tell you what's in there. It tells you the nutrient content of that ingredient, and it tells you whether anything else is present. For example, you can tell that bacteria might be present because bacteria excretes fecal matter.
Right.
And so if you see a presence of fecal matter, you know there was likely this has been contaminated. It'll tell us whether or not this is organic because we will see whether there are any other chemicals present, but it will also tell us whether this has the nutrient density that we are expecting from this plant. So if it's not organic, it's less likely to be as nutritionally potent as we qualify for our products. And so HPTC testing just gives us these layers and layers of information about the ingredient that ensures the quality that we have to have in order to tell you our products can be as helpful as we say they're going to be. So there's a lot packed into putting that there. After this, we're going to follow up with a pamphlet that is just specific to our products only, that can actually explain that in a lot more detail for you. So,
well, that was excellent.
Yeah.
It also can tell the independent organization if what we're asking them to test to give to you to ingest, if it's adulterated or if it's been altered or if it's been, let's say it's genetically modified or any of those things that a lot of you really hate. We hate it too, that we're consuming foods that are being tampered with genetically. So this HPTLC testing, we have been doing it from day one. So at least you have an idea now as to why our formulas are so high quality and why we can say it's high quality, because we go through these and we go through a whole lot more. If you want us to dedicate a whole a Q&A segment and telling you the values that going into making you new species so it can be healthy for you to ingest, your children and grandchildren to ingest, we can dedicate that and explain that to you as well.
And hopefully we'll have literature that does it so that you can carry it around and give it to other folks.
All right.
So that is the new pamphlet. Mary did put in the chat the link to it so that you can just put it on your phone. And again, you can text it or email it easily from your phone. And once it's perfected, we will have a printed version as well. All right, so let's look at some questions. Just going to say good morning to Trevor and Suzanne and Donna. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Headley. Good morning, Maxine. Good morning, Dborn53. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Fitzgerald. We talked yesterday. Good morning, Kogi. Hi, June. Got your coffee there. Very nice. Me too. Good morning, May and Darnett and Jay and Andrea, Diana. Wow. Hey, Ronald. Oh my goodness. So many of you here. Thank you for saying good morning. And we forgive those of you who can't. Maybe you're driving. We love that you're here anyway.
Mhm.
All right. So, Deborn, you're going to get back to me with some more detail about what you mean by methylated vitamins. Just want to be sure that that may not apply to us at all. So, I just want to better understand what you mean about that. Okay. Dennis says, do you have anything that can help the kidney?
We do. We have a protocol for kidneys, and we can put it on the screen, or you can give us a call, or you can go to any of our locations, and we probably should have it in stock. I'm told that we did do a delivery this week to the location, so yes, we do. But if you have a lab report, it would be good to send it in as well, unless you want to tell us here your EGFR, what level it is, and your creatinine, but especially the EGFR, you can tell us what it is, or we can do it privately, one on one. You can give us your phone number, your email, your contact information in general, and we can give you a call to discuss it more with you if you prefer that.
Yep. All right. And just we'll always qualify that obviously that's a very generic statement to help the kidney. So there's, a healthy body will support healthy kidneys. And then you don't need anything special for the kidney. But if there's actually a problem with the kidney, well, then there could be a huge range of factors involved. And that's where having the conversation with Aston and sending in your labs helps us significantly to let you know what we can do.
Right. I guess, there's so much we can say,
Yeah.
but if, a lot of people who come to us with kidney issues, one, it could be genetics, meaning that they were born that way, or post birth, genes get damaged and result in severe kidney issues, or it could be caused from high blood pressure or diabetes. So yes, if you don't know what caused the kidney issue, and that goes for all issues, whatever issues you have, you would talk to us and we can help to guide you as to what may be the cause based on your labs. Because whatever the cause is, if it's blood pressure or diabetes or genetics, you also have to support those as well. We have to rebuild, well, we can, if you want, we can help to support your body so your body can fix the root causes of those issues. Because if you still have high blood pressure or diabetes or genetic issues, the kidney issues, yes, we can get your body to help to fix it, but the issue could continue on indefinitely. So that's why, Julian mentioned root causes before. We try to get to the root cause of issues, and once the root cause are fixed, once the body fixes the root causes, we see over the years, over 2 decades, where the body tends to get better over time, where the issue itself could go away completely.
All right. Question about premenopausal chronic UTI. No other prominent issues.
So there are a bundle of questions that are in there premenopausal. So premenopause doesn't cause UTI, but UTI can precipitate um, early menopause or perimenopause, where the UTI is affecting hormone production, especially hormones, the ovary, hormones in the uterus, hormones that are produced by other glands in the reproductive universe. So, but if you have, if you are in premature menopause, we can help to support your body to to make the levels of hormones that are required. We can help you to do that. And then separately, if you have a UTI, especially if it's ongoing, do you have a yeast infection? You can tell us that as well. We can help to support your body to fight what's causing the UTI or the infection. So if you have other related issues in in that category, let us know as well, and let us know how long you've had the UTI. For a lot of people, men or women, they get repeated UTI over months and years. And what they don't realize is that when they start getting these repetitive UTIs, they had taken a lot of antibiotics over months or years, and now the infection has become acclimated to the medication, and now the medication no longer works. If you fall in that category, any of you have these UTIs, you took antibiotics, it goes away, or it got suppressed and then it comes back. You may be at a point where the antibiotics won't work. So you will need to let us know, give us all that information, and we can put together a protocol to support your body
She
to fight
says
the infection.
she followed up and said, no yeast, 50 years old, hormone levels are stable.
Okay. So, were you diagnosed with premenopause, or you're 50? Well, 50, I guess at that age you could be entering that area where hormones are normal, but you're still having the symptoms of menopause. So yes, we can help you support your body with that as well.
Sounds like there might be some other factors that have to be addressed, potentially diet or something.
Well, for all of you, diet is everything. Diet and lifestyle is everything. Yes, new species can help you, and but the way to cut back on your expense in buying new species, if you follow our diet, we have diet guides and we have lifestyle guides, and now we're putting together stress management guides as well. If you follow these lifestyle practices and dietary practices, you will be able to spend less money on new species, or if you're taking other products and supplements and medication, you'll be able to get away from those as well. You can wean yourself off these over time. But the hardest thing for you, as for everybody I know, including me, is to stick with that very aggressive lifestyle dietary regimen that are necessary. And if you can't, then you have to take new species at the levels that we ask you to take it. But if you can do that, you could save a lot of money.
Okay. So I'm going to back up to Deborn's question. So let's see. Okay. I'm going to put up, you've sent a few chats. So I'm just going to put up this one and then I will explain. So, from what I understand, some people cannot absorb certain vitamins, and the methylated version is easier for the body to process.
Hmm.
So, this comes up a lot. We talk about this all the time. I think I'm getting better at saying my answer in a shorter version. So, you're specifically referring to cobalamin, which is B12. Um, you'll see in supplements methylcobalamin, and then you'll see, like in our formula, you'll see cyanocobalamin. And yes, this has become this big thing that we've been hearing about now for many years. But you are right to say that in a follow-up chat, not sure if that just applies to synthetic or man-made vitamins. And this is where we question where this is coming from. So, for example, I actually in pregnancy was tested genetically, and I do have that MTFR or something like that genetic SNP that it supposedly makes it so that I shouldn't be able to absorb cyanocobalamin. And my midwife at the time was saying, "Oh, you should be taking methylcobalamin." Okay, so I've never had any problem with my vitamin levels, and I get my labs regularly. And I've always taken our new species B complex, which has the cyanocobalamin. I have had no issues absorbing it, and I don't have any side effects. Now, the thing is you're right. If we go to the original source of the B vitamin, um, these could be created completely in a lab, and then whether it's methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin, I'm not sure that your body can do anything with it. Vitamins are heat sensitive; they come from food, and so uh, if it's completely created in a lab, I don't even think your body's not processing it, no matter what the type is. Now, in the case of new species, we are extracting. When we tell you that you see the B vitamins in the supplement facts chart, that's because we actually extracted them from vegetables and and they came from nature. The thing is B vitamins will oxidize immediately once removed from their natural food source. So still the best place to get your vitamins is from like our formulas that have the whole foods in them. We just add the B vitamins in addition to give you more potency. So like the L Nu formula has herbs in it that already give you B vitamins. Our B vitamin complex actually has alfalfa in it, which also gives you vitamins. So whenever you see the B complex for us in our chart, it's because we've added them in addition for extra. Also, because a lot of people who are used to standard supplementation, they want to see the exact milligrams that they're getting. And when we only put the whole foods, folks get a little bit like, I don't know if I'm getting enough. And so we just add them extra to alleviate that concern. Now, so unfortunately, what happens though is it doesn't matter whether the vitamin was just made completely in a lab or it came from nature, the name is the same. So unless you're talking to us who actually make our own products and have our own manufacturing, we can tell you for sure our source is coming from vegetables. That makes it more expensive. It's unlikely a very cheap vitamin product, especially when it's just like one isolated vitamin. It's less likely it did come from a natural source, but if you were reaching out to other supplement companies, you could ask them that specifically. Now, even if you have two different products, and we'll just focus on the cobalamin. So cobalamin is B12 in its natural source. So for example, it's made by bacteria, right? It doesn't come from food. It's made by bacteria. When they produce it, it's cobalamin. But then once you actually extract it to put it into a supplement product, it's going to oxidize unless you stabilize it. And so we, for 50 years now, our team has done it by creating cyanocobalamin. And again, it's been successful and helpful for all of these years with no problems. The thing is even if both types came from a natural source, if they are processed with heat, it doesn't matter what type you're getting. Your body cannot use it. It is now destroyed. We process cold processing, raw, no heat. So the body is able to absorb it. And that's such a key thing. So forget about synthetically made supplements. We're just talking about, let's say you have a methylcobalamin and a cyanocobalamin and they both came from natural sources. If either of them are processed with heat, it doesn't matter which one you're taking. It's not going to change. Your body's not going to process it. So partly what I wonder is if a lot of these studies that have been done are being done on supplements processed with heat. So then maybe there's some marginal difference between how someone processes the methyl or the cobalamin if they've been processed with heat. Ours are raw, so that just doesn't apply. And it's so rare to find a raw. I said this was going to be short, and it's not. And I'm sorry.
It's not.
It's like never easy to explain because there's so many layers to vitamins. This is why we really try to stick with whole foods as often as possible. But when we have to extract, you get into all this stuff. Okay. So if it's raw, I don't know if any of these studies have been done on raw because it's so rare that that's even a process. And we're so rare in the way that we manufacture that we actually spent years proving our method to the FDA. Phone is ringing. We actually spent years proving our method to the FDA because it was so unusual. So I doubt that any major studies have been done on raw cyanocobalamin. Okay, now we've eliminated that factor. Let's talk about the fact that it's really not great to just be isolating all your vitamins and minerals anyway as a supplement practice, which is why we usually just stick with whole foods. But when we isolate or extract vitamins from a whole food source, we keep the whole complex together, which is why you're never going to just see, I mean, I won't say never, I don't know, maybe there'll be a use for it at some point or we'll be okay with it. But as of right now, our practice is to keep all the B vitamins together. So we're not just popping cyanocobalamin into a supplement and you're just getting B12 all by itself. You're getting it with the complex, which is actually how your body absorbs that nutrition anyway. And so and that's the other thing too, is I don't know if these studies were just people just taking B12 all by itself, because that's probably already hard for your body to process because it's just not the natural way your body is designed to assimilate nutrition. Did they study the absorption of cyanocobalamin when it's in a whole B complex? And that's the way that we've always provided it. So there's just way too many layers of things that get in the way when we just try to apply that wherever that information came from, whatever science brought that controversy up. I just don't know if it applies to our products at all.
It's not science. Science is never wrong, unfortunately. So it's not science. It's the nutritionists out there who are doing their own thing, and they need to study the cyanobacteria, which is about 3.5 billion years old. It's one of the oldest bacteria on Earth, and is one of the first bacteria that provide nutrients to living creatures on Earth, not just humans, but other animals as well. And what some of you can do, I think this is really not important, because the people out there is like, vitamin D is called a vitamin. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. So you have all these miscues that are out there. But to summarize it for all of you, the cyanobacteria is the most effective form of B12. And when we ingest it, the B12, our bodies convert that B12 into adenosine or methyl. That's what actually happens. So the signs that they're using out there on the internet or in studies or whatever they're doing are just completely wrong. So science is never wrong. So if you see something that doesn't add up, it's because the science is wrong. And there's controversy because the science is wrong. The people who get the science right, they don't get into these rat holes with these studies. So, okay, let me just say this. NuSpecies B vitamins are from Whole Foods. How about that?
They're extracted from Whole Foods.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They're from Whole Foods, and they're made by God or the universe or both. So trust us. And we just went through how safe our products are, certified by all these independent organizations. So you should just trust us.
Says the person who maybe shouldn't be trusted. I'm kidding. The other thing I'll say, because Mary just brought up in a private chat to me that like sometimes she'll get people who say that they get concerned. People will say like, oh, magnesium, I need to have magnesium glycinate versus citrate for better bioavailability. When these sorts of hyper specific things come up, it's usually because we're starting at the end result of reverse engineering nature rather than starting from where nature is and just putting it directly in our body.
Mm-hmm.
In order to make products more cheaply or to patent formulations, to make larger, massive quantities to mass distribute across the country or across the world, supplement companies tend to start with like reverse engineering nature and trying to isolate all these different vitamins and minerals and enzymes and these things that were never designed to be isolated in the first place. And then once you break it down to all of its individual parts, we then fight over which ones are more bioavailable. When none of them are bioavailable to start with. I shouldn't say none. I don't want to exaggerate, but you know what I'm saying? That
if they went through the labs,
if you
they're not.
reverse engineered nature, if nature was what was bioavailable, how is the end result of reverse engineering nature bioavailable? That just doesn't make sense, and we're getting lost in these details that have taken us so far from what we actually need from nature, which in most cases is the whole foods, the plants in their raw form, which is what we do. When we provide an isolated nutrient like a vitamin or a mineral, it's really a specific case that we do it. It's usually only to boost or enhance for a temporary period of time your whole food regimen of your supplements.
Mm-hmm.
We really never, if you've worked with us, we've never encouraged you to just hit hard like one vitamin or mineral. Now, the only exception there would be like calcium, because we're using calcium from algae. So it's a plant-based calcium. And even then, in some of our formulations of our calcium, we include other herbs as well that provide our natural sources of calcium. So we're always looking, the most bioavailable way is the way that is closest to nature, not some really hyper-specific version that came out of a lab, right? I hope that makes sense. I know it's so annoying and frustrating, but really the simplest thing is the thing that we have not been trained to think about. Because when you think about supplements, that they're really treated more like this, the industry really treats them more like medication. And that's not how supplementation or nutrition works in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm
All right.
happy to continue to hit that from different angles if people have other questions, but I'm going to end that there for
I
now.
haven't seen you so wound up in a while.
Because I can see how frustrating it is for people to just keep getting lost. You're just trying to do what's right for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just like this never ending sea of misinformation. And it's so upsetting for us to think that, like, our clients are getting lost in that too. And
Yeah.
I know it's unavoidable,
And
but
the confusion, of themselves as well. The more confused people are, the more they just ignore and keep going,
yeah.
But this person we have, they come to us and they ask the question. I hope they get the answer they're looking for, at least some of it. But what I would suggest is that, you all go there if you have that question about B12 and research the cyanobacteria. It's 3.5 billion years old and it's still here, still alive. It's in our bodies, it's in plants, it's in nature. And just to, tap it off, it's the first source. The cyanobacteria is the first source of oxygen on planet Earth. It's the first source of oxygen, which is our primary food, the most important food for all life forms. The cyanobacteria is the first source of oxygen that God placed on Earth. So let's leave it there.
I like that. All right. May, you were asking, and I asked a follow-up question. I'm not sure if you're still with us or if you were not able to follow up, but we'll answer your question from a few angles based on what we think you could be referring to. So May says, if someone's calcium is high, should they take calcium as a supplement? This person also has a bone issue. And then she followed up a little bit later and said calcium is a little over on the lab. So before Austin, you get into it, a couple of things I'm seeing with this question is the bone issue you're referring to. Is this a degenerative bone disease powered by calcium deficiency? Or is it some other kind of bone issue that you believe calcium is related to in some way? The next thing I would say, is there already calcium in the diet somewhere? Like someone's taking a multivitamin or some sort of multimineral or other product that's not ours that isn't plant-based, because most calcium on the market is going to be from limestone, from rock or coral, which is also rock, which your body can't digest. So that could cause calcium levels to get high because the body's not processing it. So I'd be curious to know. I would say certainly don't add any more calcium, even if it's plant-based, until you figure out why the calcium is high. And then Aston can address if there's other reasons calcium could be high that are not related to supplementation.
Right. So if anyone has any vitamin or mineral in their bodies that are high or low, it simply means there's a metabolic problem, there's a digestive issue, and there's a metabolic problem. The metabolic problem is how the body uses that nutrient, whether it's calcium or B12 or whatever it is. If it's too high, too low, there's a metabolic problem. The body is in a state of imbalance. And
sorry, she followed up. They're not taking calcium. The doctor is saying their body's making the calcium.
Yeah.
Our bodies make calcium?
Well, our body stores calcium. So if we eat food with calcium, our body store it.
Okay. And they're saying makes calcium.
Yeah, the body stores it.
That's interesting. Our bodies can't make minerals, right?
Our bodies can't make the fundamental chemicals like calcium. No, our bodies can't. Our bodies don't make that. That's a nutrient. Just as vitamins, our bodies don't necessarily make vitamins. Maybe B12 and one or two other, but that's not the real issue. The issue is if your calcium is high. This is the issue. Anyone who has high calcium, maybe we'll just stick with it on a very narrow basis.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone has high calcium, they're high risk for cancer because high calcium can lead to cancer, has led to cancer. It does lead to a lot of cancers. So if you have high calcium, in some doctors, it's one of the measurements they use to decide if they see high calcium in the lab whether someone has cancer. They'll go off and test for that. So because calcium it calcifies, and any calcification in any tissue in any organ, whether it's the bone or any organ, that calcification can lead to cancer. So high calcium is never good. So if anyone has high calcium, one of the first things that you should do is start taking high amounts of vitamin D, and discuss it with your doctor so they can advise the amount of vitamin D you should be taking, because too much vitamin D can also cause the situation to get worse, because that's a lot of oil, it's a lot of omega, it's a lot of fatty tissue you're going to be putting into your body in high amounts. So if you're going to do that, you should be monitored by a doctor. But that's one of the best routes anyone can take who have high calcium, because a lot of times calcium is high because the body doesn't have adequate vitamin D to help the calcium to digest or to metabolize. So that's a medical issue. High calcium, a medical issue. Check with your doctors. On our end, what we can help you to do is not to give you calcium or take away calcium, is to rebuild your body metabolic process so your body can start metabolizing minerals or vitamins. And what we can also do is that by rebuilding your body, any excess of anything, whether it's B12 or calcium or any nutrient, your body will be able to get rid of it. We'll be able to pass it out as a waste matter because it's an excess.
So in this case, would she not take our calcium?
I would not, without seeing your labs and imaging, I wouldn't know. I would say you take our vitamin D to get
What if the
started.
bone issue could that be happening at the same time if the bone issue was from a calcium deficiency like osteoporosis, but also still have their calcium be elevated? Could that happen?
So the body is shedding. It could be bone, it could be muscles. The body is shedding calcium. That's why it's high. So maybe the storage of the calcium in the body is been the body is releasing it. So
Okay.
there could be just many reasons to have high calcium.
Mhm.
But your doctor is saying that the body is making calcium, meaning that the body has too much calcium. That's probably what the doctor means.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Wow, guys, this is awesome. Loving all your questions. I don't think I missed anyone. I do want to just say good morning to Elsa and MC Distributors. Don't know your name. And yeah. All right. I do want to let you know I made an update on the app that I want to tell you about. And if you have any other questions, you can post them. I'm not sure if we'll get to them. It is almost 11, so we're at the end of the show.
But if not, we don't get to them today. There's always next week.
Yeah. So I want
Yep.
to show you quickly an update I made on the app. Let's blow this up. So if you'll see here, I created a little preliminary version of a podcast on our app. So I'm not ready to deal with trying to get us onto actual podcasting apps, like Apple Podcasts or something. But I figured I could give you a version on our app. So what I'm doing is, if we have a show that has some really good segments of information that is useful to everyone, I'm going to extract the audio and put it here on the app, and you'll be able to just click play and listen to the episode, and I will give you a breakdown of what we discuss in the episode, which also means you could hit this share button here and share this with a family or
Awesome.
friend.
Awesome.
So currently there's one episode. Last week's episode was really good for the podcast. I'm going to extract that audio and put it up. And then I think this week's episode also has a lot of great information. So by the end of this, the mid next week, there'll be 3 episodes already on here for you to listen to or share. And if you ever miss an episode and it's easier for you to just listen while you drive and you can't really put on the video from YouTube, you can just play it on our app. So I hope that will be helpful. You can certainly give me feedback about that. We're trying to do whatever we can to make it easy for you to get the education that you need, and also just spread the word about NuSpecies. Okay, let's see if we can grab Ron here right before we end. Ron says, I have a family member who wants to know what you have for cleaning out your arteries in the body, especially the heart. I told my family that NuSpecies can help.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
Ron
we can
Fraser.
help to rebuild the body, purify the body. Ron, or Ron Fraser, I know him.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, long time. So yes, I think we can discuss it offline because I'm going to go into a lot of questions about cholesterol and other blockages, and especially you mentioned the heart. It means that there's something pretty serious, and I'm going to ask if if surgeries have been done on the heart or the blood vessels, and the history of cholesterol. I'm going to want to know all of that because you mentioned arteries and the heart. So as long as there are black arteries, it will impact the heart or the heart muscles or the heart valves. So it's not as simple as take our high cholesterol protocol that we have, or take our heart disease or heart protocol that we have. So I'm going to have some questions. So I'd be able. I'd like to talk to the family member, Ron. So
And
we
Ron
can.
said that he has them listening to the show. He wants to make them a believer as well.
Okay.
And we're so happy to have you if you're listening. And just let you know, as you could tell, we're not pushing anything on anybody. We're not salesy. Like, if NuSpecies isn't a good fit for you, it's totally fine. Obviously, we're going to do our best helping people who actually really believe in what we have and really want what we have. So you don't have to worry about that. Just ask us whatever you need to know. Vet us in whatever way you need to. Obviously, you have Ron as your referral, but we're here to help you if you choose this route. So just get to know us and go from there. Suzanne, thank you. You have an excellent day too. Keep warm. Yes, we will try. I'm very grateful for heat and being indoors. And gosh, yeah, very grateful. This weather makes you count your blessings. That is for sure. I'm going to close us out with one more of your
Oh, lovely.
prayers.
Yeah. Why not? Susan, don't leave us there. We're going to pray.
We're going to pray. These are Austin's science prayers. I'm still trying to figure out what to call them. They take a really, really unique perspective on spirituality and mental health and science and your,
It's because
body
God
awareness
because
and
God makes everything. If there's such a thing as science, whether it's physics or chemistry, God made it. God makes everything. God makes the universe, the earth. God makes everything. So everything is related. The sun is related to us, and we're related to the sun. So the universe, the cosmos is our ancestor. It it makes us and support us, and that's why these prayers are relevant for everybody. I think it doesn't matter what religion you're from. I think they're relevant for everyone.
I think they take a unique perspective on life and existence, and it's either a great addition to or supplement to what you already do religiously, but also those who aren't particularly religious. I think this is a great place to start to have some sort of deeper connection. So this is just one. If you want to read more of these, they're on the blog. Aston has 2 separate blog posts with a never-ending scrolling list of the prayers and psalms and reflections and mantras, whatever you want to call them. He's been writing them for quite some time now, so we hope you can enjoy them. And here's one. This is called The Human Mind. And humanity rose and looked upward and wondered. The human body was made from star-forged dust, and the human breath was made from stellar gifts. Oxygen in the lungs, iron in the blood, carbon in the flesh. And yet the human carried something more, meaning. The human asked why, and the human remembered, and the human cried, and the human loved. And thus the universe became reflective within a living mind. Thank you, Aston.
You're welcome.
All right, our darlings, we love you all. We're so happy to have you here. It's an honor to talk with you every Saturday. And if you think of any questions in the meantime, you can always download the NuSpecies app and submit your question in advance. Otherwise, you're welcome at any time to post your questions while we talk on Saturdays. We're here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Please continue to share with family and friends and let them know they can get to know us here. Again, no pressure. If we're a good fit, we're ready to help.
All right. So have a great weekend. And as Susan says, stay warm and safe. Bye bye.